Hello and welcome to my jungling guide on
Ogre Magi!
There's been a lot of hype about whether Ogre could be a legit jungler in this patch, and I was also very curious myself, so I decided to try out Ogre as one of the first heroes on my list. I intend to jungle all heroes that can jungle now here in 6.86, so keep your eye out for more jungle guides to come on my channel. I think my Abaddon jungle guide should be out in a few days. But for now, here is Ogre. Today I'll show you two replays, one where I go for Basilius and one where I go for double Null Talisman to make the jungle just a little bit faster. So just like on Bloodseeker, get IT and cut down this one tree here. And then do the choke point jungling on this medium camp. And choke point jungling, for those of you who don't know, is just simply forcing the creeps into a bottleneck so only one of the creeps can attack you at a time. It is really easy to do here on the dire side on this camp specifically. Then here, just because I have a little bit of time to spare, I use the IT and the big creep in the hard camp. And then I run away for just a little bit because I don't want to tank the hard camp too much as of yet without my stout shield. But now I have the stout shield and I decided to just finish the hard camp because with another IT hit on the big Satyr, then I estimated that I wouldn't drop too low in terms of HP. I haven't bought any regen yet. You could buy tangos with your IT in the beginning of the game, or you could be a little greedier like me and just get the stout shield before the tangos. At this point you might need a healing salve also, but at this point my HP is okay, so I chose to just buy a ring of protection instead. In a real game you should of course communicate with your team about who needs to use the curry here to begin with, but unfortunately you will need the curry a little bit to make sure you have a nice start to your jungling. Every minute you need to make sure you get the maximum usage out of your medium camp here, so if you can't kill it in time you need to stack it. So here I hold my attack for just a moment so I don't drag the Satyr too soon, and then I finish the small Satyr. You should drag the last creep away from the camp between 54 and 58 and then you should be okay, as long as you stand on this side of the camp. And then I use another Bloodlust here. You may have noticed that I'm being a little conservative about when I use Bloodlust here in the beginning. Mana is a thing you need to worry about actually. So I use Bloodlust here whenever I want to kill one of the big creeps fast. When you're doing this choke point jungling with the IT, you have to be careful that you don't accidentally cut down a tree here instead of clicking on the creep, like I do here. And this is something that has been annoying me quite a bit, because obviously it becomes a lot harder to choke point jungle when you cut down the trees around the area where we want to choke point jungle. I'm going for Stout Shield and then Basilius. Sometimes I buy the ring first, sometimes I buy the mask first. Ultimately what it comes down to is if the courier is free to use. When your teammates are not using the courier, you should just buy whatever you have money for at that point, be it the Satyr's mask first or the ring of protection plus the tangos. This Ogre jungling is hilarious by the way. There has absolutely no skill involved when you're jungling Ogre, you just punch creeps. Like this completely brainless style of jungling is just everything Ogre stands for in a nutshell. It's like, it's awesome, it just fits. So naturally I just had to go for Ogre as one of the first heroes on my list. And the funny thing is, it feels like the Ogre way of jungling. There's no thought involved whatsoever, you just punch creeps. And the reason Ogre can get away with this is that he's just such a tank. His base health regen just got buffed in this patch, so now at 3.5 base health regen. And on top of that he got 7 base armor. So he's so strange to jungle with. His skills are so bad for jungling honestly. He can boost his attack speed just a little bit, but that's pretty much it. As soon as you have the economy for it, I like to get a TP scroll and a mango, because imagine it's like a pop game and it's kinda nice that you can use your mango TP to save somebody or get a counter kill. As Ogre, you're actually struggling to uphold your HP in the jungle and maintain a good jungling speed, so finding the money to get these items like smoke and a TP scroll is actually a bit challenging. So in this replay here I'll get my level 6 at 6 minutes, which is pretty average. Usually I get my level 6 between 5 and 7 minutes, at least in lobby games. The patch just came out a few days ago, so I haven't found the time to try this out in pub games. In terms of skill points, I get 1 level in Bloodlust and that's it. You heard me? I'm actually not kidding, only 1 level in Bloodlust and nothing else. You might think I've skill stats at this point, but nope, I actually literally have 5 skill points that I'm just holding for later. I'm doing this for 2 reasons. Firstly, I want to show you that you only need 1 level in Bloodlust and nothing else to juggle with Ogre Magi. The remaining 5 skill points you can put on whatever you want. Maxing stun and getting 1 level in Ignite is the most common build when you're ganking and stuff. But for jungling, 1 level in Bloodlust is all you need. And secondly, no matter what you spend the remaining 5 levels on, it's not really gonna help you that much. Because even if you, for example, max Ignite, you don't really have the mana to ignite the creeps all the time. And even if you had the mana, it doesn't do that much damage. You actually need your mana to support the Bloodlust. If you really want to, you can get a bunch of mangoes or rush a soul ring and ignite everything all the time, but I'm not really feeling it. And what else are you gonna get? You can put 3 levels in Bloodlust, yeah sure, but the Bloodlust doesn't scale that well. It's only 10 attack speed increase per level. If you really want to speed up your jungling, you can just get freaking stats and Bloodlust. It would help you to jungle quite a bit faster than I'm doing here, but come on, then you're gonna be an Ogre Magi with freaking stats and Bloodlust. That would be a very useless, very fun hero to play, I think. So I think I would do the 4-1-1 build where you max the stun first. An argument could be made to max Ignite over stun because the range of Ignite is better than Fire Blast, so maybe you'll use your Ignite a lot more. And the slow from Ignite is kinda nice too. But getting stats and Bloodlust? Nah, don't do that. In this next replay here, I'll show you how to do the jungling with 2 null talismans. It is a bit faster like this, but the question is it really worth to get 2 freaking null talismans? I'm gonna let you be the judge of that. This time I get the golems to begin with, so here I stack the medium camp because like I said before, it is the easiest camp to kill, so you need this camp to spawn new creeps every minute. And here you can see what happens when you don't respect how much damage the hard camp can actually do to you in the beginning of the game. The Wild Wings here does a lot more damage than the Satyrs from the previous game, so I'm dropping way too low here and I need to get a salve right away. In the real game, if you get in trouble like this and the courier is being used, you can just spend all your gold and just suicide to the creeps. It is actually a legitimate option. But of course try your best not to drop this low. If you get ganked, you just die. I spent like half a day just jungling Ogre in lobby games trying to figure out what items I want to get, and I'm still not sure what's best. I mean, when you get a Basilius you can disassemble it and make it into Soul Ring later. You can go for Blades of Attack and just buy face boots right off the bat, it's actually also a really good option. I've tried to not get IT and just go for Quelling Blade, Ring of Protection, Ring of Regen, into Tranquil, Tango, Satyrs Mask, Soul Ring. It was honestly quite terrible. At 7 minutes I wasn't even level 6, so this is no good. I've tried IT into Tranquil Boots Rush, where I just get a bunch of Tangos to make up for the fact that I don't have a Stout Shield. It still wasn't great. I really wanted the Tranquil Boots to work, so you could just get Tranquil Boots into Soul Ring and go for ganking. It was really tempting, but in the end I just couldn't make the Tranquil Boots work. So I think it's like this. If you want to jungle really fast with Ogre, you go for stats and max Bloodlust and get 2 null talismans. But if you also want to have any form of game impact, then you don't skill stats and max Bloodlust, and then you maybe just get Basilius or Bottle, or maybe even try the Blades of Attack into face boots. So this way you can have some game impact a lot sooner, which is necessary. If you choose to jungle Ogre, you need to have a big game impact in the mid game to make it up to your team. Will Ogre Magi ever see play in a pro game? Nah, I don't think any pro player with any respect for himself or the people around him would ever pick Ogre and go jungle. It is just too weird. I mean, actually, it's not that bad. If you really want an Ogre on your team for some late game Bloodlust action or whatever, it's not terrible to get levels on Ogre by jungling him this way. You can pick up a smoke, you can gank, although Ogre is not the best ganker. You should probably gank together with one of your other support heroes. But I will say, when you do these wraparound ganks where you just come in from the enemy side of the tier 1 towers, that's actually something Ogre is quite good at, because he can tank the tower like crazy. But when all is said and done, it's not really fast enough to jungle Ogre, so it's not gonna see play in pro games at least. In pub games, however, I have high hopes for Ogre. Level 6 in 6 minutes flat is not that bad, honestly, and in both of these games I just showed you, I didn't skill stats, I didn't put more levels into Bloodlust, I didn't do anything really, I just put 1 level into Bloodlust and then I just started to hit monsters with my club. So like I said, you can do this a bit faster if you actually freaking use your skill points. And it is an Ogre Magi, he can be really dangerous in the mid game if he gets an Aghanim Scepter. Then he can really be a force to be reckoned with. So guys, you can check out my Abaddon jungling guide by clicking here. You can subscribe by clicking here, and please, if there's anything I missed, anything I could have done better, then please write me in the comments. I have had some serious doubts about what items to go for and how to skill Ogre. If there's a faster way to reach level 6, please let me know in the comments. Thanks for watching guys, and always remember,
Running's not as fun as hitting.
Not one bit fun.